Well, I think there's a spirit that emerges when the snake captures its own tail. There's something transcendent that happens at that very moment. And this is when, like an electric circuit, is complete. Then there is a transcendent, something exists that didn't exist, and it has its own behavior. There's a level and an emergence. One of these levels of description or levels of behavior just happens.
Yes.
Right. And so, in the big picture right now of this time in history, we have had electrical circuits for, 150 years or so, and electronics emerges early in the century. And now the world is connected in so very many circuits of information. And each of these, it's just a compounding and a compounding and a compounding of all these transcendental or transcendentalizing emergences. Iterating. But it's just one loop, really. There's this picture of events that happen in a medium. It's like a stone dropped in a pond and the ripples go out. An event happens, and in the ideal situation there is a concentric series of wave fronts, spherical wave fronts, radiating like that from that event. Any intelligence that the event happened is gathered from this ever-expanding periphery of effects. And it is only known insofar as there's an interaction of that periphery advancing and interacting with something else, creating a secondary set of waves spreading out from that event, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. The gathering together of these evidences, secondary wavelets, as Huygens described them, that process is the basis of this new generation of neural network algorithms that are called deep learning. They are convolution networks. The process of gathering these traces and folding them back together is called deconvolution. And there's a funny little paradox there, because the only way that deconvolution can operate is by performing a number of convolutions. So there's only one thing that happens, and it only happens in one direction in time. And the image of that thing happening is this singular event radiating out like that. And it's a nice image. I love this sort of quasi-paradoxical quality that deconvolution is just a bunch of convolutions, right? But it manages to somehow undo. It's like Kierkegaard said, life is lived forward but is only understood backwards, right? So it's the understanding backwards, which is what these deep learning neural networks do. And all they're doing is trying to automatize the formation of automatisms. Yeah? The acquisition of the habits of perception that we learn before we can know that we're learning. And it's not a learning you can ever turn off. Yeah, it's just vast correlations. Convolutions. So just that word, convolution, describes this folding together these things with these things, folding them together, and then folding together these things with these things. So it's many to many to many to many to many to many to many, in a multiplicity that's inconceivable. Yeah. It's certainly terrifically organic.